Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to study the norma occipitalis of the skull. So let's start. This is norma occipitalis or the posterior view of skull. You can see the outline as it is convex from both all the three sides, and from base side or towards the base it is somewhat flattened. So it is like this. Its general outline is like this. The bones which are present here or which are seen here are the parietal bones, the squamous part of occipital bone, and also some part of temporal bone is seen here, which is called as mastoid part. You can see the temporal bone here. This is the temporal bone, and this posterior part, which is called as mastoid part of temporal bone, is seen in this norma. The sutures present here or seen here: posterior part of sagittal suture is seen, then lambdoid suture. This is the lambdoid suture. Then the suture which is present between the mastoid part of temporal bone and the occipital bone, which is called as occipitomastoid suture. The suture present between the parietal and the mastoid part of temporal bone, the parietomastoid suture, is also seen here. Now you can see in the lambdoid suture, some encircled pieces of bones are separated like this. These are the sutural bones, which are accessory bones, only seen in lambdoid suture. In some skulls, a complete piece of bone is separated, and these bones are called as sutural bones because these are present within the limits of sutures. These are accessory bones. Now the features which can be seen here, the most and important feature is this one. This is the external occipital protuberance. External occipital protuberance is the most protuberance seen in the norma occipitalis. This is the external occipital protuberance. It marks the junction between head and neck. Now the most prominent point on this protuberance is called as inion. From this protuberance, some curved lines arise and runs laterally. First of all, this one, and second, which are seen here, are these ones. The lower one are called as superior knuckle line, and the superior ones are called as highest knuckle line. These are present around 1 centimeter just above the superior knuckle line, and these are present in some individuals only. In some individuals they are absent. So external occipital protuberance, most prominent point on this is inion, curved lines running laterally from the protuberance, superior knuckle lines, and highest knuckle line. On the inferior side, you can also see inferior knuckle lines, which will be studied with norma basilis. At some distance from the external occipital protuberance, a point is present which is called as occipital point. Occipital point is present at the farthest distance from the glabella, and it is used to measure the anterior-posterior length or width of skull. Now in some individuals also, a separate piece of bone is present here, which is called as interparietal bone. Generally, it is a triangular shape of bone, and it is formed due to incomplete ossification of occipital bone. It is not present in the skull, but in some skulls it is present. Then a foramina is present close to the mastoid part of temporal bone near the occipitomastoid suture, which is called as mastoid foramina. It is also an emissary foramina and transmits emissary vein, which connects the sigmoid sinus to the extracranial veins. I repeat the general features and everything: parietal bone, the occipital bone, mastoid part of temporal bone, the sutures, sagittal suture, lambdoid suture, parietomastoid suture, and occipitomastoid suture. external occipital protuberance, superior knuckle line, highest knuckle line, prominent point of external occipital protuberance, anion, a point superiorly or present away from superior to the external occipital protuberance is called as occipital point, which is the farthest point from the glabella. These bones are sutural bones. In some individuals, interparietal bone is also present, which is a separated part of occipital bone only. These are the mastoid foramina transmitting emissary veins. Lambda, the meeting point of sagittal and the lambdoid suture. Now, some attachments are also present on the protuberance and the lines. On the external occipital protuberance, trapezius is attached or taking origin from the superior side, and inferior to that, ligamentum nuchae is attached. On the superior knuckle line, medial 2/3 is giving origin to trapezius again. Trapezius is arising from external occipital protuberance and the medial 2/3 part of superior knuckle line. And the lateral 1/3 part is giving insertion to sternocleidomastoid above and splenius capitis below. Onto the highest knuckle line, if present, they give attachment to aponeurosis, the epicranial aponeurosis, and the occipital belly of occipitofrontalis muscle. If these lines are absent, then the structures take attachment or are attached to the superior knuckle line only, the upper part of superior knuckle line only. So this is all about the norma occipitalis. That was all about today's topic. We will study further normas in the upcoming videos. I hope you all are liking my videos. Thank you for watching, and please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.